welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the Resident Evil Village collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer. Before we get into the swatches, go ahead and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That lets me know you like my content, you love Bee's Knees Lacquer too, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe before you go. I upload new live swatching videos every week. As per usual with Bee's Knees Lacquer, this launch is pre-order style. It'll start off on June 25th at noon Eastern Standard Time, and it'll go through July 2nd at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The collection includes 9 beautiful polishes, and 6 of the 9 include a beautiful black to red multi-chrome flaky that I've never seen before, and Sarah, the maker, is super excited to be sharing with you now. It also includes 2 polishes that have a beautiful glowy shimmer and holographic flakes, which is very quickly becoming one of my favorite finishes from Bee's Knees Lacquer. And then we've got one more polish that doesn't fit into either of the other categories, but it is just everything shifty and beautiful in a bottle. All right, we've got 9 gorgeous polishes to look at today, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. We're gonna jump right into the red to black multi-chrome flaky polishes first, and interestingly, they kind of form a rainbow. So we're beginning with the red, which is Lady Dimitrescu. That's how you're supposed to say it in the game, I believe. I don't play Resident Evil Village, but I looked up some YouTube videos and they said in the game, it's Lady Dimitrescu. But if it's in traditional Romanian, Lady Dimitrescu is how you say it, I think. So this one's described as being a light pinky red with black to red multi-chrome flakes. So as you can see, the base color is kind of a dusty, beautiful berry red shade. Definitely leans more red than it does pink, and it is filled, completely packed with those beautiful red to black multi-chrome flakes. I am going to swatch all of these more sheer polishes over, as you see here, a regular base coat, and then on the left over a blurring base coat. I will have both base coats linked in the description box in case you want to check them out, but you guys seem to really appreciate that. I know for myself personally, I prefer to wear more sheer polishes always over a blurring base coat, but some people love the sheer effect, so I did want to show it both ways. That being said, these red to black multi-chrome flakes are quite sheer, even when built up into 3 coats here, which now you're seeing me apply that 3rd coat. You can still see quite a bit of nail line without a blurring base coat. However, with a blurring base coat, I found that it looked very even, and I far preferred that look. I thought it looked absolutely beautiful with a blurring base coat underneath. So here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch built up in 3 coats without a blurring base coat. Oh, the shift of the flakes is fabulous. And you can see a little bit of nail line there, but there are so many flakes packed in that it's not too visible. Pictured are 3 coats of Lady Dimitrescu with a glossy top coat. And moving on to the kind of orange in this finish, this is Heisenberg, and it's described as being a rusty orange with black to red multi-chrome flakes. This one retails for $13, and in fact, all of the red to black multi-chromes in this collection do retail for $13. So this base color, is it an orange? I'm not too sure. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. I would call it a brown with a strong caramelly orange lean, and I would definitely also classify it as being a prugly color. That being said, I absolutely love the contrast you get between that brownish base and the gorgeous red to black flakes. On application, it was very similar to Lady Dimitrescu. It's very, very sheer on that first coat. As you can see, you hardly get any base color. It's mostly flakes. But what that means is that all of these polishes with the red to black flakes are great as toppers, and you can kind of get an idea of that over the blurring base coat. It doesn't really tint the base hardly at all. It just adds those red to black flakes, which, I mean, I love a polish that can serve multiple purposes, so I'm all about that. Here on the second coat, you can see we're getting more of that orangey brown base color in there. And then on the 3rd coat, we can really see that pretty contrast between that prugly base color and the red to black flakes. I think prefer all of the polishes in this collection that have a non-reddish base because you get that strong contrast. I just love it. So here's what this one looks like. Oh, on the full hand, and you can see those flakes. I can't even talk. You can see those flakes shift from black to red to orange to gold. Gorgeous. Pictured are 3 coats of Heisenberg with a glossy top coat. No yellow in this release, so we're going right into the green, which is Muta My Set. Again, not sure about that pronunciation, but that's what the internet said, so hey, I'm not arguing. So this one is described as being an apple green polish with black to red multichrome flakes. It retails for $13 too, and I would describe the base as being like a slightly dingy apple green. It almost has a little bit of olive in it. It's not as bright as what I imagine an apple green being, and it's borderline pruggly too, but once again, that's providing some absolutely beautiful contrast between that base color and those multichrome flakes. Like the others of its kind in this release, this one had a very sheer, squishy jelly base. I thought all of these were super fun to apply because I just wanted to squish them. They also dried down super shiny on their own, although I always wear a top coat just to make sure, my manicure lasts as long as it can. We get some nice buildup of color on the second coat, especially on the nail that has the blurring base coat. And then on the third coat, we get almost full opacity on the nail that doesn't have a blurring base coat and full opacity on the one that does. This is a really fun, pruggly color combo with the green base and the red to black flakes. I think this polish is incredibly unique. And here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch without a blurring base. Oh, look at those red flakes just glowing against that green base. This would be a fun one for Halloween. Pictured are 3 coats of Muta My Set with a glossy top coat. In between green and blue, we have Moreau, which is described as being a teal polish with black to red multichrome flakes. Also retails for $13. So I think if I had to pick a favorite out of this bunch, not out of the whole collection because I saved that for the end, but out of these red to black multichrome flaky polishes, I think I would have to pick this one. I'm drawn to teals anyway, but the contrast between the black and the red shift in the flakes and the gold and orange too with that teal base is just extremely noticeable in this polish. I can't get enough of it. This one applied very similarly to its siblings in this collection. It's very sheer on that first coat and you can see a whole lot of nail line, but again, that means it'd make a great topper if you wanted to layer it over pretty much any color since that base is almost clear. Starts building up really nicely here on the second coat and we can see more of that teal base, especially on the nail that has the blurring base coat. And then in 3 coats, I found it was just perfect with that blurring base coat. Of course, still slightly sheer built up in 3 coats without a blurring base coat, as you can see here. Now on removal, none of these red to black multichrome flakies were hard to get off the nail. However, disclaimer here, they really wanted to stick to my skin. After removing this polish the first time, I had those little red to black flakies all over my cuticle. So I would recommend for this one, soaking your cotton pad in acetone, applying it on your nail for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then just pulling it straight away from your cuticle to avoid those flakes getting on your skin. Pictured are 3 coats of Moreau with a glossy top coat. The blue in this collection is called Mother Miranda, and it's described as being a steel blue polish with black to red multichrome flakes, and it, of course, retails for $13. So I feel like all of these red to black multichrome polishes in this release have kind of a dustier, fallish quality to them. It's kind of putting me in the mood for some colder weather, even though summer just got here. But the steel-leaning base in this definitely, once again, provides some gorgeous contrast with those red flakies. On application, this one has that same squishy jelly-like formula. It's quite sheer on that first coat, but you get a ton of those crushed. I really like the size of them. They really are like a crushed red to black multichrome flaky with each and every coat. It starts to build up really nicely on the second coat. We get to see more of that steely blue base color. But I feel like because this one is so vastly different from my skin tone, I don't have steel blue undertones, that the exposed nail line, the visible nail line, is a little bit more exaggerated or noticeable with this polish compared to some of the others in the collection. I hope that makes sense, but I just feel like my nail line with this one, even in 3 coats, is, more noticeable. I see it more than I did with the other polishes. And here it is in 3 coats without a blurring base coat, and I feel like this one is kind of a nod to the OG red to black multi-chrome polishes because that base is so deep. It's almost a black, although you can still tell it's got a steely blue lean to it. So pictured are 3 coats of Mother Miranda with a glossy top coat. And the last polish I have to share with you with this finish is Donna and Angie, and it's described as being a pink leaning mauve with black to red multi-chrome flakes. It retails also for $13. My camera's wanting to brighten up that color a little bit. It's not grapey leaning. I feel like it's coming off just a little bit grapey on camera. It's definitely a mauve violet color with a strong pink lean. And because those red multi-chrome flakes kind of blend in a little bit with the base, there's not as much contrast with this one. That being said, I love purple polishes. I love pink polishes. So this was a standout for me as well. On application, this one was just as jelly and smooth and easy to work with as the rest. You get tons of those flakies out, and I feel like because the base color for this one has a slightly red lean to it, the flakes almost appear to be a pinky purple shade instead of red to black. Although as you move your hand around in some lower lighting, and you'll see that on my full hand swatch, you can see them shifting. But again, because there's not as much contrast there, it's not as noticeable. I also felt like this one built up the best in the bunch. As you can see on that second coat, even without a blurring base coat, and here goes the third, I really don't see too much nail line. Is it detectable? Yes. Is it noticeable? I don't think so. And then, of course, it's absolute perfection in 3 coats with a blurring base. Here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch with no blurring base coat. And again, you can see that shift from red to black in those flakes, but it's not quite as noticeable, and I don't hate it. Pictured are 3 coats of Donna and Angie with a glossy top coat. Moving into a different finish now, this one is Everyone Falls in Love with Me Eventually, which totally wins the award for most ridiculous name in this collection. This is actually the purple sister to Keep Reaching Out Your Hand. Yes. If you're not familiar with that polish, you must have missed my video on that collection. I will link it in the cards. It was my favorite polish in that collection. It's stunning. So to see a purple sibling polish, yeah, I was excited. This one specifically described as being a pale gray polish, which you see here, it's like a soft dove color with purple shimmer and lots of hollow flakes. And you can see on the bottle here, it doesn't mention that there's a pink shimmer or that the purple shifts at all, but I got lots of pinky red shift, which made it even better. Application was super smooth. I was able to get it to opacity I was happy with in 3 coats, but I think some people may be able to get it opaque for them in 2. I do have a pretty visible nail line. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats, and on the full hand swatch outdoors, look at those hollow flakes sparkle. Bee's Knees, give me all of the hollow flaky shimmer polishes. I want every single one you make. Pictured are 3 coats of Everyone Falls in Love with Me Eventually with a glossy top coat. And kind of similar, we have Devour All of You. This one's described as being the blue sister to Keep Reaching Out Your Hand, and it's a pale gray polish with glowy blue shimmer and lots of hollow flakes, also retailing for $12. As you can see, it's got a more indigo blue shimmer and then also a more turquoise aqua-y blue. Oh man, was not expecting to like this one more than Everyone Falls in Love with Me Eventually. That name, I can't. Was not expecting to like this one more, but I totally did. The blue just pops against the gray base. As you can see, application is easy and smooth. I also got it opaque for my nail length in 3 coats, but some may be able to get away with 2 on this one. And here's what it looks like in 3 coats out in the sunlight. Oh, you guys, the glowiness. This one is going to be a staple for me this winter. I can already tell, just the blue gives me icy vibes. I am all about it. Pictured are 3 coats of Devour All of You with a glossy top coat. And the final polish I have to share with you today is Curse You! Had to say it dramatic. It would have been a missed opportunity. This one's described as being the fuchsia sister of Don't Go to Sleep. It's got the same deep bronze to gold to lime to green to blue shift, and it retails for $13. So yeah, all of the shifts, bronze, gold, lime, green, blue. And then it's got this fuchsia wine berry base. It's basically a rainbow. I feel like I saw literally every color in this polish, and I am obsessed. It was hands down my favorite. Knew it before I even swatched it. Oh, look at that coverage, people. Oh my word. This one, I could still see just a little bit of nail line on that first coat, but honestly, if I was in a hurry, could have been a one coater. That being said, of course it was fully opaque in 2 coats. In bright lighting, you see that gorgeous gold bronzy shimmer, and then here's what it looks like in some lower outdoor lighting. Wait till you see it in some indirect indoor lighting. Oh my word. My goodness, look at all of that shift. And I'm not even showing it all. I mean, at some angles you can see the blue in there as well, maybe even some purple. This polish is perfection. Pictured are 2 coats of Curse You with a glossy top coat. Ooh, you guys, what did you think? I'm always so curious to hear your thoughts on the collections and the polishes, so let me know in the comments. What did you think? Did you have any favorites? Will you be picking any of these up? Again, the pre-order will start on June 25th at noon Eastern Standard Time. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.